my second year of vet school, I joined WISE so I could learn to rescue and rehabilitate animals. I became quite familiar with kangaroos and began catching kangaroos that had been hit by cars, stuck in people's backyards, or shot. I was then in my 5th year of vet school called out to assess a blind kangaroo. When I got there, the kangaroo had milky white eyes, was stumbling into people and was obviously very unwell. When I spoke to the landholder, they mentioned they'd seen more than 10 of these animals who eventually died, and I realised this was something quite sinister. So I caught the sick kangaroo and transported it to Charles Sturt University Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory, where we took a full panel of bloods, humanely euthanased the animal because it wasn't able to be rehabilitated, and performed a post-mortem and took a series of samples for histopathology.
It was quite interesting actually, because they had signs of jaundice, which means that they had a liver problem. And there's a lot of things that can cause liver abnormalities and jaundice in animals, and so we were looking for the common things. And we found that they had these crystals in their liver, in the hepatocytes and in the bile ducts, which were blocking the bile ducts and resulting in a backflow effect, so that these photoactive compounds that the animals were eating, they were spilling back into the blood, distributing through the bloodstream, deposited in the skin and the eyes, and causing blindness. These steroidal compounds, these saponins, soap-like substances, cause disease in cattle and sheep and goats around this area at certain times of the year, but it was the first time that we'd actually seen it in kangaroos, especially causing blindness.
We found that the area that the kangaroos were grazing in was heavily infested with a grass species called Panicum. The Panicum grasses are really widespread across America, South Africa and southern Australia, and they cause widespread livestock toxicities in all of those places. They contain a family of compounds called saponins, and saponins, although they are very advantageous to the plant in terms of helping them survive in these arid climates, they are deeply toxic to livestock that ingest them and cause damage primarily in the liver.
This event, in which almost 100 kangaroos died, is significant because it is only the 3rd confirmed case of invasive plants killing Australian wildlife. What's concerning is that we might be missing other events that involve smaller and less obvious mammals. We also have very little understanding of the effects of chronic disease or poor nutrition from invasive plants on our wildlife. What's clear, with invasive plants expanding globally, particularly in grasslands, is that we need to pay a lot more attention to their effects on our wildlife.